The May 2013 cover of Time magazine is entitled "The Me Generation. Millennials are lazy, entitled narcissists who still live with their parents. Why they will save us all." And it's written by Joel Stein. They say that millennials will save us all because they have time to ruminate on things and they will come up with a better way to do things. They're not sort of driven by a schedule maybe or a responsibility as prior generations were, and so maybe they will actually have more time to come up with answers to some of the things that plague us currently. Your thoughts?
Well, as you started that question, I was thinking one thing, and you finished it, I thought another. I feel I've been in this fortunate position where I can think about unusual thoughts, and I try to let myself think about unusual things. So to me that is quite important. However, because I do that, I notice the contrast between me and some of the people around me. You need to turn these thoughts into actions. One of the things I found, it always amazes me when it happens, though I know it's not, but it does amaze me. I have some idea that I think this is brilliant, okay? And I go and I tell somebody about it and they don't do anything. I'm expecting them to grab me by the shoulders and say, "Alexis, that's such a brilliant idea. Let me do at least 70% of the work for you." And I'm always, for some reason, I always feel disappointed when they won't do it. But the thing is, and I have this delusion again and again, but the thing is people, it's a self-centered view of the world. People are all trying to get on with their lives. People, every day they get up and they have an inspiration for that day and they do it, and they're kind of set on doing that. And suddenly some idiot comes along and says, "Oh, what about making a short film which is controlled by brainwaves? Isn't that a brilliant idea?" And that person's like, "Yeah, sounds really interesting." And then they carry on doing what they need to do. So I think it's all very well kind of ruminating and coming up with good ideas, but there needs to be some goal-driven element, I believe, as well. Now, this it's funny. I have taught some music students at Plymouth University, and I don't generally teach, but I've given them talks about technology and music and science and music a couple of times a year. And what I also talk about is my projects, and one of the reasons I do that is to try and get collaborators to, well, I say collaborators, really just people to do things on projects. Like, for example, I had one where I controlled a wave tank with Wii game controllers. I stood on this gantry over a large research wave tank, and I would move them and I could make waves be generated in the water, and then the waves were turned into sound by height sensors. So I was kind of playing this swimming pool sized wave tank as an instrument, and at the same time there was a mini wave tank behind me which had 7 people in it doing what's water drumming, inspired by the Baka African tribe, where they actually slap and pummel the water to create rhythms. But the point is, these 7, they were all undergraduate students at Plymouth University. And I remember when I was trying to get people interested in the project, and I don't think this is unique to any particular school or university, you found there was a divide between kind of the goal-focused people who would kind of make a commitment and turn up and really buy into a project, and the people who seemed very interested, but they always seemed just a little bit too busy to turn up when you needed them. And I was fortunate, you know. What I did basically, if I felt that somebody was not interested in the project, I would rather have fewer water drummers than risk having someone disinterested on there just to fill a gap. I was fortunate, I ended up with 7 people. You have to have some leeway because these people weren't being paid. I gave them a co-composition credit on the second movement of the piece, though. So, you know, so I gave them something. But you know, so they're not getting paid. So you can't be like a taskmaster. You can't be like, you must do this, you must do that. You're 10 minutes late. And then, but you get a sense if people are committed to doing it. So I think it is important. I am in a privileged position where I can come up with unusual ideas, and once you've had a few successful unusual ideas, people, you know it's in your job description after that you have to do this, and you have to allow yourself to think freely. And I've become a little concerned recently because I've got to a point where I've achieved more success than I thought I could, and things are solidifying just a little bit, not a lot, but things are solidifying in my mind and my emotions a little bit, and what constitutes a project and what sort of artist I am and so forth. And I thought, if I need to keep I need to get a stick into the kind of cement of my mind and stir it back up and loosen it up again, because my value is in consistently bringing together unusual concepts and bring them together into a new concept. Now, if I become a person that does that in a predefined way, it's very hard to explain, but I need to keep spontaneity in what I do, and I need to keep, it's like there's part of me that's nervous about reading too much about my field, because I worry if I read too much that's close to my field, that I'll get fixed into thinking how other people think about it. And that I'll start thinking more about the field than participating in it. But if I don't read anything, where's the input? Where are the concepts that I'm going to put together? And I'm at a point now where I haven't been doing a lot of reading for the last year or so, and I'm thinking, where am I going to get my input from? Where am I going to go and get these new ideas from? So you need input as well. You know, there's got to, I feel there's got to be some goal orientation. There's got to be time to think in a loose way. You've got to give the brain time. It can take days for it all to come together. So and also you need some input.